so that's a kind of a fresh, new type of interview. And obviously, Baby Doll is actually one of my favorites, so I'm kind of jacked up for that. So, guys, I want to get into this. I want you guys to weigh in because I've got a really big problem. So last week, on Friday, we had Wolfie D, who literally crushed the interview. He was incredible, and Wolfie D now is signed on to the Monty and the Pharaoh channel, and he'll be doing a weekly show called Wednesdays with Wolfie D, and that starts this Wednesday, so that's going to be a whole lot of fun. But here's an interesting fact, guys. I was, the big event was the reason all these guys were in town, handing out autographs, people coming in, paying their hard-earned money. But who was in town was AJ Mendez. Now, I want you guys to hear me out on this because this is, to me, a really, really huge problem. So everybody knows who AJ Mendez is. She was AJ Lee in the WWE. She's the wife of Phil Brooks, CM Punk. Both have done very well for themselves in the industry. They are married, and AJ came out for a public appearance, and that's great. Great. That is unbelievable that she showed up at the big event. If I was at the big event, I'd probably want to get an AJ Lee autograph and picture. But when I went to look, and again, I wasn't going to the big event for COVID, but I just want to read a few things to you guys, and just bear with me here. Here's the format of the signing. And Maddie, you weigh in too, because this is pretty impressive. A 2-hour signing station from 10 to 12 and a 1-hour professionally posed photo op station includes on-site 8x10 print from 2:15 to 1:15. No biggie there. Okay? No selfies during the signing. If attempted, you will be thrown out of the event with no refunds from Glamour, Under the Stars, and Sorrentino Promotions, or the big event New York as a whole. No combos being sold. No individual autograph tickets being sold. No inscriptions. Go ahead, Matt.
What?
Hold on, there's more. No personalizations. Tickets are as follows. No substitutions or changes. 2 autographs. 2 autographs, not inscribed to you, just AJ Lee autographs. $300. 4 autographs. $500, but that's only for the first 60 people. 4 autographs. I said that. VIP package limited to 10, the first 10 in line, 4 autographs, and Divas belt. $999.
Jeez.
Professional photo op photos. No autograph included. Now, I don't know what a professional autograph is, by the way. Photograph. I don't know if they had a cameraman there. Did they use... they took your phone. Someone called themselves a professional.
Yeah. You take a DSLR, put in like a white backdrop and any cheap light, and you're good to go.
And that makes you a professional photographer. $150.
I bet that's what they're doing.
Includes 8x10 print on site and digital version. Now, what's a digital version? On your phone? Is that a digital version?
So they just send you like a JPEG that's signed?
Line starts at 8 a.m. No refunds, no exchanges. So, with all due respect, everybody out there. By the way, Fat Boston Wales bank account in the house. Let's keep these legends working. Maria Davis, $300? Heck no, won't pay anything. No amount. So,
yeah, no way.
AJ Lee, if anyone remembers AJ Lee's story, she was a child who grew up in a very poor family, who discovered wrestling that changed her life. And I think you put the picture up, Maddie, of AJ getting an autograph from Lita. Now, Lita, obviously a WWE Hall of Famer. Now, do you imagine if the young AJ Lee had gone to the big event, going back in time and or bring her back to when she was 8, and she went to the big event, and she had to pay $999 for an autograph and a photo.
Yeah. She would probably feel pretty bad for her parents.
I would think that she probably wouldn't even have the opportunity to meet her. So
True.
people would turn and probably say, well, it's the promoter. The promoter's the one that's greedy, right?
Everyone's greedy here.
But my point is, AJ Lee, you should know what your promoters are doing, right? You should know what your promoters are doing.
And how a different promoter.
Joe Shipley, she's a joke. She is a joke, Joe. I got to tell you, everybody knows I can't stand Phil Brooks. I literally hate Phil Brooks. And now I officially hate AJ Lee, because to actually be that greedy of a human being and be part of something like that, Loose Cannon, thank you.
Yeah, meet your legend for like an arm.
$999. Think about this. She won't even inscribe it to, like, please sign it to Mike. Love you, Mike.
No personalization.
No personalization, because I'm AJ Lee.
That's literally minimum effort.
And I know Sorrentino Promotions, right? And that guy's a dirtbag, too. And he knows I think he's a dirtbag. And, Rick B., the crazy part is some people will still pay. Rick, you're right. It is crazy, bro. But here's the issue with that. Some people, like, they only have so much in their life, and they idolize someone so like these athletes they mean the world to them, and they'll do anything to meet them. But to rape these people that are in love with you so much, give it a break. I mean, seriously, when I read that, I was like, how in a good conscience could you even be part of something? What's that?
Yeah, she's straight up taking advantage of her fan base.
Oh, my God. $999, 60 people. Think how much money they made off of those poor people who are saving their money. Yeah. And again, you could blame the people, right? AJ Order isn't worth more than $60 on a framed photo. You're right, Luce. Again, I guess it's to what, it's supply and demand. I get it. But there has to be a point where you just can't be this way. A mess solution. Don't buy a ticket to this event. Who could afford one anyway? You're right, man. It's like that's 3 car payments or 2 car payments, and for a photo with your hero. It reminds me, if my father's watching, growing up, I was a huge baseball fan, and we grew up on Long Island, and Dave Kingman, we used to, the batting cage is out there, and Dave Kingman came to the batting cage. So, you're a kid. You're excited, right? It's Dave Kingman. And if anybody didn't remember who Dave Kingman was, he was one of the great home run hitters, and he played for the New York Mets, and he was actually kind of a hero in New York for a long time because he hit these monster home runs. And so my father brings me, the line is, I don't know how deep. It's got literally, and this is not an exaggeration, it's got to be 400 people long, 500 people long. We sat out there, I don't know, 8 a.m., 2 p.m., Kingman finally shows up. He goes to the batting cage, takes a couple of swings, and he goes home. And I just remember, like, how crushed I was as a young man. And when I mean young, I think I maybe was 6 or 7. And it's a responsibility of an athlete or someone at that level to ensure the happiness of their fans. And when I mean the happiness of their fans is if you're going to be in the limelight and you're going to be part of something where people look up to you or want to be part of you, or just want a piece of you in a good way, not a bad way, you have to have that responsibility to your fans. And AJ Lee should be held accountable to the money that was charged at the big event for her fans to see her. She should be embarrassed. But again, guys, think about it this way. Old Phil had to give away ice cream pops a couple of months ago, which we knew was Khan's money. But just say he spent it. So I guess AJ had to get that money back. So anyway, that's my rant on AJ Lee.